Hot News RNC 2020 Buzz Donald Trump vs. Larry Hogan. One name that came up repeatedly and unprompted in conversations with committee members and operatives here in New Mexico this week: Maryland's Larry Hogan. The blue state Republican governor was just elected to his second term by nearly 12 percentage points and still he currently serves. There's been no indication of any concrete steps toward a primary bid, and a spokesperson for Hogan did not respond to CNN's request for comment. Hogan first rose to national prominence in 2015 when riots broke out in Baltimore following the death of Freddie Gray while in police custody. Months later, a moderate Republican who has Democratic supermajorities in both chambers of his state's legislature, Hogan has also become one of the rare Republican lawmakers to criticize the president. Not shy with criticism. During his second inaugural address in mid-January, Hogan was introduced by former Florida governor and 2016 presidential candidate Jeb Bush, referencing the life left. Visiting with Transportation Security Administration officials at Baltimore-Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport, Hogan slammed both sides on the 34th day of the record-breaking government shutdown. Earlier this week, what would it look like? The timing of a presidential bid remains to be seen, and some Republican operatives have dismissed the buzz around Hogan as a profile-building exercise in anticipation of a run down the road. But blue state Hogan has drawn comparisons with Christie, with whom he is close. Both are seen as Hogan's second term will be up in 2022, leaving him plenty of time to mount a bid in the 2024 election. Hogan. Everyone. A 2020 primary challenge to the incumbent president against the juggernaut of coordination between the Trump campaign and the Republican Party, a political David versus Goliath.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.